in to try and cope with the aftermath of both the earthquake and the tsunami wave that you can see here heading inland in Sendai, taking buildings with it, such as the force, various cars and vans, lorries with the force of the water. And, Tom, we have reports of deaths as well, I think from the original quake itself in Tokyo.
That's right. The numbers are small at the moment, but it is almost inevitable that they will grow. Reports of a 67-year-old woman being crushed by a wall, a 67-year-old man being crushed by a wall, and also an elderly woman. And you can see just from the striking images that we've been seeing coming out of Japan this morning that the damage is just colossal in some cases. You can see that at the bottom of your screen now, buildings just being ripped away by the power of, this is a river, just ripping buildings away, and the wall of water that has been crashing into Japan. This, of course, the earthquake struck at...
They're setting up to find out the extent of the damage. All transportation systems in Tokyo, as well as northern Japan, has been stopped. Airports closed in Tokyo, Haneda, as well as Narita Airport. A great earthquake has hit Japan. Magnitude 8.4 in northern Japan. Agency has been warning a tsunami ever since the quake, and tsunami has hit the Miyagi Sendai area as our live helicopter camera crew are up covering and showing you exactly what is going on at this time. Deputy Chief Cabinet Secretary Tetsuro Fukuyama told reporters on Friday that the governor of Miyagi Prefecture, where the earthquake has hit hardest, has asked the government to send self-defense force units to deal with the situation and aid the situation. Defense Ministry officials say self-defense force personnel are currently contacting local governments and related agency to assess the extent of the damage. Earlier, Prime Minister Naoto Kan and his cabinet ministers have gathered at the Prime Minister's office, where an emergency task force has been set up to respond to the earthquake. The task force will gather information on damage and prepare for more possible tsunamis. Japan's Foreign Minister Takeaki Matsumoto has ordered his officials to start preparing to accept foreign assistance. He has also told them to check on the safety of foreigners living here in Japan, higher ground, as soon as possible. You're watching NHK World, and a major earthquake hit Japan Friday afternoon. This happened about an hour and 20 minutes ago. Japan's meteorological agency says the quake measured magnitude 8.4. The agency has issued a tsunami warning for Japan's Pacific coast. In northern Japan's Iwate Prefecture, tsunami waves of up to 4 meters were observed soon after the quake. The agency is warning that the tsunami could be between 6 and 10 meters. You're seeing some of the tsunami damage so far in Miyagi Prefecture, in the Sendai area, where some of the homes and farms have been flooded when the tsunami went upstream a river. According to the Transport Ministry, Haneda International Airport has reopened 2 of its 4 runways. Haneda International Airport has reopened 2 of its 4 runways. The airport had earlier closed all runways. Haneda International Airport has reopened 2 of its 4 runways. The Japan Road Traffic Information Center and police say expressways around Tokyo and northeastern Japan have been closed. The Japan Road Traffic Information Center and police say expressways around Tokyo and northeastern Japan have been closed. According to Toshiba Elevator, it assumes that most elevators came to a halt in the region affected by the disaster. According to Toshiba Elevator, it assumes that most elevators came to a halt in the region affected by the disaster. At the moment, the company has been collecting information about mechanical troubles. The Industry Minister's Nuclear and Industrial Safety Agency has put in place an emergency center for the earthquake. It'll collect information concerning damages caused by the earthquake.
Obviously, scientists will be trying to work out how big it is, but at the moment, those alarms are sounding all over Honolulu. And I assume much of the rest of Hawaii, because this is not just Oahu, the island that I'm on at the moment. This is a statewide tsunami warning across all of the islands of Hawaii, but this is the most populous here, and I'm in the state capital, Honolulu.
And Robert, just remind us how far you are actually from the seashore there.
I'm about 300, I would say 300, 400 meters from the shore. Anybody who's ever been to Waikiki and Honolulu will know that it's a very built up, lots of skyscrapers built along the coast, all of the major chains, Sheraton, Hilton, all of them, and this is peak season. There are a lot of people here. It's very, very busy. We were at the Diamond Head volcano this morning, absolutely jam-packed with tourists, many of them from Japan. This is a very popular destination for Japanese tourists.
And what are people being told to do? I mean, you have got high buildings, clearly they can get refuge there, but are they being told to get away from that coast?
They're not. This is a different kind of evacuation here that they plan in Waikiki because it's so densely populated and because the buildings are so tall here along the coast. They have what is called a vertical evacuation. So they try to move people up above the third floor, and that is what they are planning to do at the moment. That's certainly what our hotel, I can't speak for all of them, but our hotel has told people on the first floor and the second floor to get up above the third floor. It's getting much louder now and move back into the balcony. But that's what they're telling people to do at the moment.
And those sirens are still going off. It must be quite a disturbing scene, particularly for those people with young families and children.
Well, that's right. I mean, many people who live in Hawaii, they grow up very much like children in Los Angeles or in California, Southern California, where there is a big risk of earthquakes. They learn at school what to do in the situation of an earthquake or a tsunami. So I imagine that many of the Hawaiians are probably calmer about this than many of the tourists who have come here, who have never come across anything like this before. So obviously you have people around the resort now trying to explain to people what this actually means, that they mustn't necessarily panic, but they should prepare. You know, as I say, we are a long, long way, many thousands of miles away from the epicenter, so when the tsunami reaches here, it may not be that significant, but obviously they don't want to take the risk or getting overconfident. They also don't want to trigger a mass exodus and blocking all the escape routes. And I'm looking at a road just outside my hotel at the moment that is absolutely choked with traffic. It's 3 lanes. We were here last night. It was flowing freely. People are obviously moving, and I don't know whether they're trying to gather supplies or whether they're moving further away from the coast. But what we have been told is to stay here. We're on the 8th floor at the moment watching all of this unfold around us.
Well, let's just remind people of what the Japanese Prime Minister has said in the last few minutes. The nuclear power plants, many of them in Japan, no radiation leaks detected, but many of them have stopped automatically. They have those fail-safe devices. Disaster response centre has now been set up. One of the major things, Tom, they're going to have to deal with is this refinery fire. We understand now that it's LPG, liquid petroleum gas. This is going to be...
And the Prime Minister making the point, speaking on television just a short while ago, that people should be cautious and vigilant and should stay calm. Is that the feeling that you have, that people are just listening and waiting for advice? I mean, are people making their way home, or are they continuing about their daily life in Tokyo?
Yes, surprisingly, we Japanese are all...
committee session, but we asked the committee chairman, Tsuruho, to let some of us...
on people.
Yeah, US Geological Survey, we spoke to them a little earlier. Massive is their estimate as to the scale of this. Official word now from the Tohoku Electric Power Company saying power cut to many areas of Mori, Iwate, Akita, all areas of Miyagi, Yamagata, Fukushima, Niigata. So that's more than 4 million people without power. That's causing difficulties, of course, for the